Hi everyone, thanks for watching this video. Okay, this video is all about this stuff, this little bit of stuff that I've got left in this bottle here. Okay, it was full, but now it's empty because we drink it all the time. This is called colloidal silver. Okay, colloidal silver is probably, well, it is the strongest natural antibiotic that exists. Okay. Now, what happens when most people hear the word natural? They poo-poo it. They poo-poo it and they say, yeah, natural, yeah, but it's nothing in comparison to the antibiotics you would get from the doctor. This is just natural, yeah? And that's where our biggest mistake comes from, because we have been conditioned to think that natural products are by no means on any level compared to the products that we get from the pharmaceutical companies. Okay. Now, let me tell you a story first before I show you how this is made. Okay, I'm going to show you how to make it. It's very easy. Okay. When my wife had given birth to our son, Cynthia, she was breastfeeding. Okay, and she had mastitis. Now, for anybody who's had mastitis, you'll know that it's very painful, exceedingly painful, and you're trying to breastfeed your child and you've just got tremendous pain. So what did we do? We went to the doctor and the doctor gave us some antibiotics. One of our questions was, will the baby get antibiotics through the milk? And the doctor said, don't worry about it. It's been proven that they only get a very small percentage, like 1% or 2%. Okay? So Cynthia took the antibiotics. For the following week, the mastitis cleared up. Let me tell you, it took 3 days to clear up. Okay? After the third day, it was starting to get better with the antibiotics. But our son was very poorly for a week. He was poorly. You could see that he wasn't right. He wasn't sleeping right. His sleep pattern changed. He started to have tremendous diarrhea. He wasn't well. Okay? So that was our inspiration to say, look, there must be a better way than this. So we looked at how colloidal silver works, okay? And lo and behold, a short while after, Cynthia started getting all the symptoms of mastitis again. She had a big red patch on her boob, it was burning, and she was shivering, okay? So what did we do? We got our colloidal silver, which we already had in the house. We kicked ourselves afterwards. We got our colloidal silver and we did two things. She started to put it topically on the skin, okay, with cotton wool, organic cotton wool, by the way, topically on the skin, often. And at the same time, she was drinking. Just when I say drinking, okay, you take a mouthful, you hold it under your tongue, and for 30 seconds, and that gets it into your bloodstream very quickly, and then you swallow it. That's it. It tastes like when you were a child, if you ever sucked a coin, it tastes like that. It's not the nicest thing in the world, but it's by no means horrible. Okay? I've tasted medicines a lot worse than that. All right, so that's what she did. She spent the whole night. Every time she woke up, she would take some more colloidal silver and put it topically on the skin. When she woke up in the morning, there was no symptoms. There were no symptoms at all. The redness had gone, the pain had gone, and her temperature was back to normal. And I'll tell you what we did. We said, well, maybe you didn't have mastitis. Maybe it was just a rash. Okay? Because why? Because we were conditioned to believe that only antibiotics can do these kind of things. Right? So even though we had the stuff, even though we put it on and we saw the result, we didn't believe it. Moving on to chapter 2 of the story. Okay, I'm going to put this bottle down because I don't want to keep shaking it. Okay, chapter 2. This summer we went to Madrid, Cynthia and I, with the family, and we decided to get a tattoo. Okay, And the tattoo was just this little thing. Can you see it there? An ankh. Okay? Symbol of everlasting life. Irony, the irony. Okay, so we got an ankh. We both got one. Cynthia got a purple one and I got a blue one. What happened was, that same day, okay, or the day after, I think maybe the day after, both of the tattoos became infected because they'd used, when we found out, they'd used a new colour that they'd never used before. Both the tattoos got infected and they were very red and very painful and swollen, okay? By the following evening, Cynthia happened to look at her arm, or my sister actually looked at her arm, and she had on her arm, from the tattoo, okay, she had a red line coming up from the swelling, a red line all the way up to here, okay? So we nearly had a heart attack. I looked at my arm and had the same, a red line coming up, following up the vein, which is blood, an infection of the blood, okay? So we looked on the internet, let's see what happens. It said, red line coming up from your tattoo, run to emergencies because you need antibiotics and you also need possibly to be ingressed into the hospital and have an antibiotic drip. Well, you can imagine we were absolutely terrified. Terrified. But something in my mind was saying, Gordon, wait. Don't go down the antibiotic route. And I said to Cynthia, look, Cynthia, why don't we do this? Let's go to emergency, get them to look at it, see what they say, okay? And then tonight, if they're okay with it, tonight, why don't we just take some colloidal silver during the night? If in the morning it's not any better, then we'll go and get the antibiotics. So that's what we agreed to do. We saw the lady, and the lady in the urgency said, oh yes, blood infection, if that red line reaches your heart, you die. So that's nice. And she said, antibiotics. But she said there isn't a pharmacy open at this time of night. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. So she said, first thing in the morning, you must get them. So this was what we decided. We said, okay, so we went home. As soon as we got home, we started drinking colloidal silver and putting it topically. And you know, the moment that we put it topically on, about 20 minutes later, the red line started to fade. Just putting it topically. We spent the whole night drinking colloidal silver. Every time that we woke up, we had it on our bedside, mouthful. When we got up the next morning, all the redness had disappeared. The line had disappeared. The redness around the tattoo was magnificent. It was so much less. And we continued doing that for another day, and it was gone. Okay. The lady in the urgency said, take the antibiotics, it takes 3 days for them to kick in, for the level to be reached. 3 days for antibiotics to kick in. We took colloidal silver and in 20 minutes we saw something. And then overnight, and bear in mind we went to bed about 3 o'clock in the morning, okay, and we got up, 10 o'clock the next day, and it was gone. It was on its way out. That's the power of colloidal silver. So what happened was, the first time I convinced myself that it wasn't colloidal silver, that it was just something else. The second time, I absolutely was convinced. Colloidal silver is stronger than antibiotics. It works faster than antibiotics. It has no side effects whatsoever. And if you go on the internet and you look for the blue man, all right, this is the only thing that they say against colloidal silver, that if you drink too much colloidal silver, you turn blue, because one man was blue, okay? But if you look into it, that was something, he was paid to become blue, and he didn't take colloidal silver to become blue, because to become blue, colloidal silver is not blue. Copper is what causes that. So you look at that, okay, don't take my word for it, but that's the only thing. One man so many years ago went blue. I've been taking colloidal silver now for about 3 years, and there's no blueness. Look, no blueness. Blue free, all right? But what I'm also free of is the infection that I had. That could have been life-threatening. So please use colloidal silver. It is fantastic. It has no side effects. It's natural. Silver has been used in the pharmaceutical world for years, for centuries. Silver's been used, okay? But nobody talks about it, and you would never get it from your doctor. All right, that's why I'm here to tell you. Okay, so in the next video, I'm going to show you how to make colloidal silver, which isn't that hard, okay? See you later.